Good morning. It's Wendy. Today is going to be a day where I'm going to harvest carrots and kale. And it's a typical overcast oceanside morning. When you live close to the ocean during the summer, it's gray for most mornings for many months in a row. Most people don't know that. But it always clears out in the middle of the day, and there's a lot of heat. So we've been averaging probably early 80s for the last month or so. So there's things that are ready to be, we're kind of reaching a transition point where things that I planted in April are done, and then it's time to actually start thinking about planting stuff that I can harvest in fall, and I haven't quite figured that out yet. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a tour of the garden and show you what we have and how things are doing. I'm shooting from where my little house actually is, but I thought I'd show you the street that I actually live on. It's a really wide street right next to a park and a block from the ocean, so it's a really nice area. I live in a chauffeur's apartment behind a very large house. This is a historical property built in 1931, and we've actually been here for 3 years. So anyway, I'll just show you the yard. Going back, it's all, our entire neighborhood is stucco and has to be that way. You actually can't make any changes here without approval from the city because it is a historical landmark district. So coming to the back, we come to a shared patio area, and first we come to my lemon and my lime tree. So my lemon is doing really well this year. This is the best year I've had, in part because I moved it back here a few months ago and it's been getting a lot of water and the proper amount of sun. So there's about 20 lemons on it. And then next to it is the lime. I have one real performer here. And then actually I have some flowers coming, which means I'm going to have more shortly. These, you could see one has already turned into a baby lime. Those flowers will finish their bloom and fall off, and each one will be a baby lime. So these pots I water about every 3 days or so. So we have a patio. This is the area where I do my hoop yoga, and I have my friend Debbie over and we work out together a couple of days a week. And then here's starting in more of my gardening area. I'm going to be picking these carrots today, and I've got carrots out in the alley also. This is the pallet garden where I have strawberries, basil. I have a lettuce that's going to flower. It got too tough, so I didn't pick it. So it's going to flower, which will be great for the bees. The red leaf lettuce did not start. I planted it and it didn't come up for probably over 2 months. So I think it needed the heat or something like that. I've got four spots for strawberries. 4 months ago, this was that. So with water, and this gets about 3 hours of sun during the day. I also have mint, rosemary, a basil that I've let flower. I have another basil on the picnic table too. So now we'll go back to the true garden that actually gets all the sun. So this is where I do my productive gardening. So this is the alley I live on. That's where the park is. The ocean's right through there. And this, I'm on the very top edge of the Bluff Park neighborhood. So we have a mixture of raspberry and blackberry here. This is mostly blackberry, we decided. I've gotten a couple of berries so far this year. And then I have a jade tree here, which is a succulent, just as to fill the space because I can't really reach back there. And then I have more succulents that have been getting water, so they're doing really well. So I expect they're going to shoot up a shoot like this and get tall and put these blooms out, which the hummingbirds really like. So I have some black crim tomato that are slowly ripening. They're supposed to be a dark mahogany red when they're ripe, but they've been coming off ripe as a kind of a regular red color instead. And then starting here, kind of going all the way through, I have strawberries that have been spreading for over 2 years. So my neighbor Ketty, I let her pick these. Oh, she's missing one. I think it's almost ready. I'll have to tell her. It's hanging out there. I generally don't have trouble with people stealing stuff, although I did catch someone stealing a tomato about a week ago, but I opened the window and said something to him and he put it down and walked away. So here's some more succulents. I had snap peas along here, so this is a space that's ready to be replanted. This is the indigo kumquat tomatoes. They're early in their stage still. They should get bigger, but not much bigger. They'll be about thumb size. More strawberries. They're just starting. They're still white down here, but they're also sending off runners. If you look here, it's got a runner going. And so what I did was I cleared the dirt so that it could put down root where it had started a new plant. And I'm doing that along the entire row. Alright, and then we're coming to kind of my spring mixed fail and success garden area. I'm going to go ahead and set the tripod down and we'll talk about it. Okay, the first thing I have here to pick is the last of the carrots that grew up out in the alley, which got more sun than the ones in the container, and probably more natural soil, so the last of it's kind of hiding under here. And the seeds kind of all, when they got water, kind of all grew, like moved and grew together, so I'm not quite sure how many carrots I'm actually going to have here. So I'm trying to hold this rose out of the way. So if I reach in, got a little bit of grass there too. I'm gonna move the chips away. This is my mulch. Helps retain moisture. And I'm just gonna start pulling. Let's see what we get here. Not sure. Maybe there's 3 here. Oh, that's a nice big one right there. Smaller. Oh, there's 5 total, really small. And another really nice size carrot. So these look really great. And this is enough to either just have a really nice snack or go ahead and throw into a soup. And next I have is a couple of kale here. I picked one about a week ago, but I let these ones go because they weren't quite as big yet. Try to make it so you don't fall over here. Alright, so there's red beans growing behind the kale, and there's broccoli rabe in front of it. The beans were a shelling bean, so I shelled a few of those and threw them into a soup, but it wasn't really enough of a crop to like go, ooh, look at this bean soup. But this is dino kale or black kale. It's ready. And I have one in the fridge, and then these 3, there's 3 here. Oops. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these, and then what I'll do is sauteed kale with bacon. That's how I like to serve it. You cook bacon. Then take the bacon out of the pan, but leave the grease. And then throw the kale in and braise it, and throw a little bit of orange or apple juice in, and to give it a little bit of sweet, and cook it all the way down. It's really great. And then you'd put the diced bacon in with it. So that's it for today. We got some really good kale. That's all I'm gonna get for the year. I grew enough kale for one meal. And some carrots. I have my container of carrots too, but since I just pulled some, I'm gonna leave those in the soil. Let them keep going for a few more days until I'm ready to eat more carrots. So anyway, that's a successful day in the garden. Thanks for coming along. Have a good one.